So here we have again, there has to be a foundation laid first, and then you might tutor that along, mentor it along. You're not mentoring nothing along. So there has to be something put in that the AI can identify, if you will, identify that it's going to be tracking. And the child is not doing that. Someone who is understanding what AI is as a tool is doing that for the child. Again, as I said, a long time ago, I ran for a school board. I think they were saying something about our children's future. Well, we are the children's future. It's what we do today that prepares the way for them and guides them into their future. They're not preparing anything. They're not doing a thing. And I didn't win that election, so I figured maybe there was a lot of people that didn't agree with me. But we are the ones that prepare the way. The child does nothing. The child isn't the future. They're going to work through what we leave them. For parents, they are convenient. For pupils, they are obedient. And for administrators, they create the illusion of improved results. That's why the issue can't be resolved by scolding children or laughing at them for copying chatbot replies. If we don't restore the authority of the teacher, reduce bureaucracy, fill staff shortages, and teach both adults and children how to work with AI honestly, then the machine will take the place of thought. And our children will continue typing essay on the topic in the search bar while the neural network politely finishes their education with the same fatal question. Would you like me to help with anything else? And take notice that those of you non-spectators fighting private developers' eminent domain takings and toward countering the government's claim of genuine public purpose to defeat a purported demonstration of public benefit, while only solely the developer and the state are also lying by omission in that regard, and while or solely the state is breaching its obligations and duty to entertain such a takings claim when not protecting that property and their current exclusive quiet enjoyment and use, as Congress or other land disposal grant acts evidence. And you'll find that in the patent. The obligation and duty for such prevailing property protections imposed in the state enabling acts, if you go read there, you'll see that connection. Or that the actual market value, the artificial intelligence, surveillance center, data center land use supports for the takings if the land has demonstrated billions or trillion dollars use. That part isn't farm or land market value for purpose of just compensation. But maybe artificial intelligence, surveillance, data centers aren't the reliable public purpose benefit to the people they are purported being, but are for an ulterior motive. Maybe for a purpose to the state or developer, but to no benefit to the people, now turned into token citizen products. And the state and developer are lying, fraudulently representing the required genuine public purpose and for just compensation. Researcher explains why AI shouldn't be blindly trusted. So I just said a whole bunch right there to get you into a takings case, eminent domain cases. I don't hear anybody talking anything about this. And there's a valuation that has to go. You'll see compensation's the big deal with that. Well, there's a due process that comes even before that, where what they're going to put on it is a use that's far more valuable, which means that underlying property really is far more valuable, isn't it? And so consider this thing and then the due process and the underlying, if you want to keep your farm, you don't want to be muscled out. I've talked about this for years. I got that just through the mining law. And what I started to understand about it, it's a grant. It's a government grant to the people, the holders of the land, the lawful possessors. And the evidence of that's the land patent and then the assignments forever. And there's a trust duty in the state to protect that land grant from typically Congress. And they don't do that. And so if you would please read, and through this, as I'm talking about this on this article, what I just said in the first introduction to this builds me into all those little pieces. There's more to this than just feeling that you can be run down and the state can help run you down. Researcher explains why AI shouldn't be blindly trusted. What am I saying here? These data centers, these surveillance, what do you call these things? These machines, right? Being a source of the AI, and that's the use for the data center, then we have to then look at, is that a genuine use? Is that a genuine purpose for a purpose of taking? And we hear it's error prone. People often make irrational decisions, and while artificial intelligence can help predict and overcome these mistakes, it should not be trusted blindly because it has its own vulnerabilities. Anton Surovov, rector of the Russian Economic School and a specialist in behavioral economics, told Sputnik at SPIEF. According to Suvorov, one of the most common cognitive biases is overconfidence. Quote, for example, 80% of the drivers believe that they drive better than average. Among professors, the situation is even more striking. 95% think they lecture better than their colleagues, close quote, he said. And let me get back to this overconfidence. Even in the developers saying that they're going to build these things and the state saying that they're going to take it on and that it's good, they're overconfident in what AI can do. They're overconfident in what these facilities can do, misrepresenting what they actually can do. They're just attributing a value. It's never been really proven, has it? It's never been happened in our lives. How can that be known to be genuine purpose? That question. Another vulnerability is confirmation bias, a tendency to accept information that aligns with existing beliefs while rejecting evidence that challenges them. Quote, we readily believe information that fits our worldview and are often hostile to information that contradicts it. This bias makes it harder for us to change, learn, and absorb new information, close quote, Suvorov explained.